What's up, YouTube people? It is Maxine here, and welcome back to my channel. I think it's like day 70 of quarantine. So my mom and I just got back from dropping Brandon off at the airport, and we had like a whole issue. Something that you should know about me is that I work customer service. I have always worked customer service. I've had people yell at me for no reason, and I've never like caught an attitude or been rude with people. Like, that's just not my personality. That's not how you get through to people. And so the whole time Brandon was here, he was having issues with his wallet got left in his wallet got left in California at the airport that he was flying from. So when he accidentally got off at his first place, he thought he had to get his bag, so he had to go through security again, and they just verified who he was, and it wasn't a problem, and he was able to get on his plane. So after he got here, he called them, and they were like, normally we would send you your wallet, you know, like we have it here, normally we'd send it to you, but with everything going on with the coronavirus, we're not able to do that. We don't have enough staff and everything. And so he's like, okay. So he doesn't have his wallet, and he's like, so how do I get back? You know, like, how am I going to be able to get back when I got to fly back? And they said, it shouldn't be a problem. You should, you know, they should be able to ask you questions and verify who you are. And then you fly back. Well, as first of all, I've dealt with plenty of nice, wonderful rays of sunshine. This lady wasn't one of them, because he flew United, and we were waiting. So you want to be there an hour before your flight leaves, right? And your bags need to be checked at least 45 minutes before. So we're waiting and waiting, and nobody is there. Only the lady working, you know, American Airlines is standing up there. Nobody else is there. So we're waiting. And then she finally comes up, and she's immediately got an attitude. So we're like, okay, you know, like, so we tell her, like, that he went to try to print off his ticket, and it was asking for her code, right? Like, it said that she had to verify for his ticket to print. And she was like, well, yeah, I have to verify who you are before you can get your ticket. Like, rude like that. And we're like, okay, like, no big deal. So then we tell her what happened with the wallet and the ID. And she was like, well, I'm not going to be able to let you go. And then she's like, let me go talk to my supervisor. Like, really rude. Like, it's not my problem. So she goes and talks to the supervisor, and the supervisor, I guess, is like, nope, like, we can't do anything about it. Like, so she comes out, and she's like, nope, you're just gonna have to rebook, and you can't fly and come back when you have an ID. We're like, okay. We talked to two different people because he called several days asking about his wallet and stuff, and they actually called him just to make sure. The people in California, that airport, wonderful to him. We're like, oh, you know, like, it shouldn't be a big deal. We had their names and everything, but unfortunately that airport's not open yet, like the customer service line and everything. And so we're like, well, could we talk to the supervisor, you know? And she's like, she's just gonna tell you the same thing that I did. Like, really rude like that. And so we're like, okay, well, we would just like to, you know, talk to her. She goes back there, and she's like, she's on a call right now, and it's gonna take 45 minutes. So if you just want to step aside, you can wait for her. Just rude like that. And we're like, what the heck? Like, we're the first ones in line and everything. And so it's like, great. So we're not sure what we're gonna do. He ended up having another ID at his house, and got someone to take a picture and send it to him, so that way he had a, you know, picture. Because she was like, you don't have any form of ID or anything? Like, I don't know, we can't let you go. And the whole time I'm thinking, like, so do you ask like 10-year-olds for their driver's license? You know, like, there are plenty of children that fly. So, like, I understand, but like, she was really rude about it. Wasn't like in the mood to try to help, nothing. It was just like, not my problem. So he got the picture of the ID. Oh, first of all, we're off to the side waiting. While he's waiting for the picture, the next person goes in, and they had an instrument, like they were flying back to wherever they came from, and the lady was really rude to him and was like, and he was like, hey, I was told, you know, that I would be able to take this, that this would not be a problem. I called and everything. And she was like, well, I don't know who told you that, but that's not my problem, and I don't want you getting mad at me over it. Just like that. Like, the guy wasn't rude. He was like, well, what can I do? You know, like, I'm trying to take my stuff with me. So then Brandon gets up there again, and he shows him, he's like, well, I have this. And she's like, well, I don't think, she's like, I'm pretty sure it's not gonna work, but I'll go ask my supervisor anyways. Just like rude. So she takes his phone and with the ID, and the supervisor okayed it. And she was still being like that. Like, she came back and she was like, okay, so she gave me the okay to do it and everything, but and like, we're all being really polite about it, like, you know, thank you, like, please. And so she was like, she gave you the okay to do it, but the place that he's going to is also a place in Canada, and it's in California as well, like, it's the same name. And so she starts talking. She was like, she's like, you have the okay here, but I don't know what you're gonna do, and because you're going to a different country. And he's like, oh, actually, and she's like, can I finish talking? Like, just an ass. Like, can I finish talking? And he's like, yes, ma'am, of course, you know. And then she's like, they're not gonna let you into another country without an ID, and I don't know what you're gonna do and everything, blah, blah, blah. And after she goes on her whole thing, her whole power trip, after she's like, let me finish talking, then Brandon's like, I'm going to California. And she's like, oh. It's like, yeah, you look like an idiot. You don't talk to people that way. So he almost wasn't able to get on the flight, which is interesting because, like I said, he was told multiple times that he should be able to get on a flight without the ID because they can verify his information. And then he also accidentally got off in Denver to try to collect his bag, and he had to go through TSA again, and they just verified his information. Like, he told him what was going on, and it wasn't a problem at all. So it was just a problem with this lady who had an attitude, who, like I said, was late getting up there. There was still a line of people behind us that I'm pretty sure were probably gonna be on Brandon's flight at like 9 o'clock. And she just took her sweet time getting up there, and your bags are supposed to be checked like 45 minutes before. So it was a whole thing, and I was pissed. I was like, God, if he is meant to get on this flight, please make it happen. So it worked out. He got on the flight, which I'm glad. When we were leaving again, like when we went to leave, my mom's like, oh, we should go over there and say thank you again. I looked at her and I was like, no. I was like, the only thing that lady needs is to be written up. Like I was telling my mom, I'm like, dude, if I ever talk to a customer like that in any of the jobs I have, I would have been in big trouble. Like, that wouldn't have just been, whatever. Like, I would have been in trouble. So why is it that it's okay for this lady to come in and treat people like that? I would never. No matter how angry or anything, like, I understand. But, like, we were really kind about it. We weren't like, like, you're really being annoying. Like, why aren't you doing this for us? Like, none of that, you know. We're just like, hey, this is kind of the situation, and no help. Just like, she's just like, it's not my problem, it's not my fault, you'll just have to rebook until you can get an ID. Like, okay, well, are you gonna pay for it to be rebooked? Are you gonna pay to have his ID here? Are you gonna call the other airport and have him ship his wallet out? Because they couldn't do that. So how is he supposed to get another ID if he can't get his wallet? So it was just like sheer, like, just rudeness and stupidity. And like Brandon said, she let him through, like, she gave it to him and everything, and he was like, she could have done that if she wanted to, but she didn't want to. She just wanted to, like, have a reason to be mad and ticked off. I'm like, yep. Yep. So it's like, what time is it now? It is 9:53 right now. I'm tired. We got up at 6, and this is like a 10-minute clip. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and calm down after this whole experience. I'm just grateful he got on. Wasn't an issue. Like, be kind to people. I'm kind to people all the time even when they're rude to me. Like, it's not hard. It is not hard to be kind to people. No one's saying that you have to give them what they want, but there's a way to be kind about it, you know?